episode 2 of the Murding Machine podcast. We've got a new person today, another friend, close friend, oldest friend. His name's George.
Hello.
Yeah, I thought I'd invite him on, get him to express himself, hear some of his views on some things. We got some questions. We were talking just before this about various things, so it should be interesting this episode. I'm quite excited.
Oh, I am as well.
I'm just going to jump right into it. The first question I want to ask is, what are your thoughts on COVID-19, coronavirus, and the whole sort of situation it's brought up? You know, the rules, the inaccuracies, because we now know that it's been confirmed there are inaccuracies in the death recordings, and just the whole situation of the whole pandemic.
I'm going to start from the beginning because I think just like you, I've worked throughout the whole of COVID.
Yeah.
Where I worked in shutdown, and I work in fast food, so it's a bit different to where you work. Originally, when we got the go of everything's gonna lock down, our shop got into that sort of weird state of just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So we had to rely and wait on news. We weren't shutting down because we counted as a I can't remember what it's called, like a priority work or what, I can't remember what it's called. And that was done. So so lockdown, yeah, everyone had to stay in, do all that, and if you were to go outside, you would the police could question you or arrest you. That was quite new at the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was stupid. Because every time I'd walk to work, I'd get stopped and be like,
Really?
Yeah, why are you out? And it's like, because I have to work. And then when I told them where I work in fast food, they would be like, they're all shut down. And I'd be like, nope. My shop didn't shut down. So after a while, the government had to send all of our shops a letter with all our names on, confirming that I had to carry on my person for a month or two, that if a police stopped me, I'd hand them this letter. So not keeping 2 meters distance. This wasn't a thing back then because it was just lockdown. But getting right up to them, handing them this letter, they would take it off my person, read this letter that had my name on it, and stated that I could be outside because I needed to go to work.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I still have the letter somewhere, even though I accidentally leaked water onto it, so it's it's unreadable at this point. But yeah, so a lot of us got stopped, and one person in our shop didn't have the letter on him when he got stopped and nearly got arrested.
Jesus Christ.
The police escorted him to our shop, had to like go in and ask if he works there, and he was like, yes, I do. And that was that. But all of us got questioned by it. So yeah, that was at the beginning. That was really annoying. That was set into motion by the government, that if you were to go outside, you would get like arrested or questioned or whatever.
That's actually pretty crazy hearing that.
Yeah, especially in where we live. I heard it in London because London's quite I guess populated, although we're quite densely populated in where we live, the bottom of Hampshire, whatever. So yeah, so after that they came out and there was like, right, we need a 2 meters distance and everything and all that. So in our shop we had set up, in our shop we do not have to wear face masks.
Okay.
I'm putting that out there now. That is dumb.
Even currently?
Yes.
Okay.
The only time we have to wear face masks is either if we're serving a customer right now. So, if I'm talking to a customer or giving them their food, or there's in our area there's so we take things out of an oven. Sometimes it gets so jam-packed in that oven that 2 people need to operate it. Those 2 people need to wear a face mask and a face shield.
Okay.
I don't know why the face shield, but I understand the face mask bit.
Mm.
Around our shop, there are screens everywhere.
Mm.
So they're just hanging off the ceiling. They don't go to the floor. They're just like, I guess, 3 foot screens
Mm.
that just hang from the ceiling. We clean them every night, and that's that. And that divides us up. So
Yeah.
there'll be someone making something, someone doing something else, someone doing something else, so on, so on.
Mm.
So there can only be like 5, 6 people making food at once,
Yeah.
which in our current situation, where we are still very busy. I'm sorry, I
It's
swallowed
fine.
something the wrong way. Um, yeah, where we are very busy. Having 5 people make food
Mm.
when there are about 150 orders on the screen at once
Yeah.
can be very stressful.
Yeah.
So that's hindered us a lot, but we're managing to get through it. Being the only fast food place open as well, right at the beginning.
Mm.
I mean, it was great business, but
Yeah, I bet.
it was awful. So there's that. Yeah, we don't have to wear face masks.
Okay.
I think it was like a month ago. There was the thing of always wash your hands, do all that.
Yeah.
So our head office made us like wash our hands every 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Imagine what that does to your hands.
Yeah.
I'm,
No, that
I'm,
can.
I'm working like 6 hours a day, 7 hours, maybe more
Mm.
sometimes. And they want me to wash my hands every 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, because in the hospital where I work, that is standard, practice there. It's one of the main policies. Keep washing your hands and wash them a certain way for a certain amount of time. However, we have little lotion stations right next to them as well, so you keep your hands moisturized because you constantly wash your hands, whether it's with the alcohol wash or just soap. They're going to dry out, they're going to crack, and that can, cause an infection hazard. You could bleed, you could get cracked skin. So I don't know if they have lotion stations where you are as well to keep your hands,
No,
moisturized. They don't.
no. So this is where this issue became of where we all started moaning. It's like we are not. We'll wash our hands when appropriate.
Mm.
Appropriate, yeah. Because after a while, look, I looked at this guy's hand. He's like, I can't work. I was like,
Yeah.
why? He was like, every time I put my hand in any food, it hurts. I was
Mm.
like, what do you mean? I looked at his hand and it was awful.
Yeah.
So I went to a manager and went, this guy can't even touch anything without hurting.
Mm.
Like, that's stupid. And then we got to head office and we were like, started complaining more and more. And it was like, look, I understand you want us to wash our hands, you want us to keep safe and all that, but this is actually hurting us.
Yeah.
Especially we have to touch things like jalapenos, gherkins and whatnot.
Mm.
And when that gets into cracks and whatnot, that does hurt. So
Yeah.
our head office, I think, took it the wrong way when they came up with that,
Okay.
of always wash your hands. They
Yeah.
took it literally as always wash your hands, which is
Mm.
it is like when you're about to go out, wash your hands. When you come back in, wash your hands, have a shower, do that. You know, when I go into work, I'll wash my hands. I There is a sanitizer there as well now, but there's no lotion.
Mm.
So wash your hands with soap, do the 20 seconds washing your hands,
Yeah.
and then you use the sanitizer, do that, and then you can work.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone has to do that now. Even if you're a driver, you have to do that. Um, Obviously, because we're mainly a delivery service as well,
Yeah.
that affects us a lot. So it started with we needed a way to give the customer their food
Mm.
without going near them.
Okay.
You can see the struggle in that.
Yeah.
So we came up the idea with a box that it's just a normal, one of our normal boxes we put stuff in, flipped around the other way.
Okay.
So
Oh
it,
yeah.
it looks literally just like a brown box.
Yeah.
We put the food on top of that, and we put it on the floor.
Hmm.
You can see where that goes wrong as well. It's like customers phoning, like complaining. It's like they put my food on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that we've literally just been told to do that. I'm sorry, I don't know any way I can help. Even I ordered pizza, and when I ordered my pizza, the delivery driver who dropped it off to me didn't even put it on one of those boxes.
Yeah.
So he just put my food on the floor.
Mm.
I said to him, it's like, come on, just do your job. I understand where customers are coming from now because they're complaining about their food being on the floor. Then now we have these, it's like plastic boxes now
Okay.
that every driver has to take with them. Every time he comes back, he has to sanitize it, clean it, and then he could go out to the next one.
Mm.
So it's got better and better, but we were so unprepared, and the government was so unprepared to tell us, like, not to tell us what to do,
Yeah.
because I I originally thought we would shut down because we're in such close proximity with everyone, but apparently not. So the government's instructions were either not clear enough for our head office to understand,
Yeah.
or our head office were not just didn't understand anything in the first place. But I think they're both to blame in that situation. I
Yeah.
think handling COVID at first was awful,
Yeah.
and I
No,
still think today is awful.
I agree with that. I think it's been. I feel like the government have wanted to go in a certain direction, but due to the public and how loud the public can be, they've had to go back and forth and do things differently from what they wanted to do. Because originally they did want to do a herd immunity thing, which means no lockdown, none of this, just get out there, maybe have a little bit of social distancing or whatever, and continue as normal. However, due to other countries and public outrage and global shit, they've had to change their course, and it's been a big mixed bag of crap. It has been awful. Going back to the masks that you were talking about and how
Yeah.
you currently don't wear them. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but in the hospital, we never wore masks. We didn't wear masks for ages. Then it became a policy where we had to wear masks only on wards, and we got told to take them off if we were going to, walk around the corridors to go to a different department or a different ward. That changed again, where we had to wear them continuously. And the public, I think, are advised to wear them, but it's not necessary for public members to wear them, but staff have to wear them. I think that's pretty stupid. It's a bit late for it, and I don't see the point in it.
It's way too late for it.
It is, and I just wanted to know where you stood on the whole mask thing in general. Like, do you think it's actually worth it? Do you think they actually do anything? Do you think it's better now than never, or it's too late?
I think it's too late anyway.
Yeah.
So obviously in my shop you don't have to wear one. They don't force you to wear one unless you're serving a customer.
Yeah.
Customers don't even have to wear masks in our shop.
Okay.
So even though they do, a lot of them do. You don't have to.
Mm.
I went shopping the other day as well, like last week.
Mm.
Go to Asda. They say in shops like that, you have to wear a mask.
Mm.
The amount of people that aren't wearing a mask is unbelievable. It's actually shocking. I saw more
Yeah.
people without a mask than with a mask.
Yeah.
And, obviously the government said, it's required that you have to do that. But no one's enforcing it. Not even the shops are enforcing it.
No, yeah, I read something where shops and police. The reason the government said, oh, this has to happen, but the reason shops and even the police aren't enforcing it is because the amount of backlash you're going to get. People don't like being told what to do. You tell someone to do something, if they are 90% of the time automatically going to go against it and go no.
It's
And with how
so dumb.
With how this government came about, people don't like him anyway. Even people who voted for them are questioning them now. So this government telling people what to do, people aren't really going to listen. So the shop owners and shop staff and police are going to say, no, we're just going to advise people, but we're not going to enforce it because the amount of backlash, the amount of trouble, even attacks or verbal abuse that people are going to receive is going to be stupidly high. So they're just walking away from it pretty much.
Yeah, next to where I work, there's a shop. I always go in there before or after work, get a drink. He doesn't enforce it. He actually, it's like, no, you can come in, don't wear a mask, I don't mind, because it will lose him business.
Yeah,
he owns the shop. He needs the business. So that's why shops don't want to do it, because they will lose their business. They will lose a lot of money.
Exactly.
Tesco's near me for a while, they were security guards stand at the door and not let you in unless you had a mask.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of business. That security guard is now no longer telling people not to put a mask, like, oh, you need to put a mask on, because they lost so much business.
Yeah.
So it is stupid. They should have done this, like, when the first couple hundred deaths sat in and they were like, shit, this is contagious, this is getting real. They should have enforced it then. It's like, you need to wear a mask if you go out or go into a shop. Yeah. That would have been more realistic, like 2-3 months ago or something like that. But now it's way too late.
No, yeah. If they enforce this or set out a proper plan and proper rules at the beginning, I would have been okay. Fair enough. We don't know how bad this thing is going to be. That's fair. Cooperate, and then as time goes on, we understand more, realize, and then ease stuff. However, that hasn't, that hasn't arrived. That we know that the whole situation, the whole death rate has been calculated wrong, and whoever, even in America, people have died from gunshots. They've been counted as COVID because they haven't been tested. It's not confirmed, so they just put it down as a death, which means the numbers go up.
I think they wanted this to be more of a global pandemic than usual. That's why they're classing the other deaths. It makes no sense. They're classing deaths that aren't related to it.
No, yeah.
That they are, because everyone's calling it the global pandemic. Do they just want to like fall into the trap of saying, oh yeah, we need more fatalities? Or because it makes no sense why they would class someone, let's say, I read articles where this guy had a heart attack or something, like their dad had a heart attack and died or whatever, and he got classed to have COVID. He got cause of death COVID. It's like, no, he had a heart attack. He's had heart problems all his life. It's just, it's happened during this, unfortunately. He didn't die of COVID, and they fought for it for ages, but they refused to change on his death certificate that he died of COVID. And what are they doing with this false information? Like, how is this going to affect everything? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know if it's being calculated wrong, purely because they're miscalculating things. It's a simple miscalculation. However, I highly doubt that, due to the amount of testing that's going on recently and the amount of records and, cooperation between countries as well. There has to be, pretty accurate information about this. I do feel like they are exaggerating the numbers on purpose, and they're doing this on purpose to make it from from stopping it being a legitimate pandemic. I feel like they're doing this, kind of on purpose to stop a genuine outbreak of a pretty nasty disease that will kill lots of people.
Well, they're just creating a bigger panic state.
Mm. Well, if
It,
you look at the news and how they're, reporting on it, it is very scaremongery. The scary music, the scary graphics they play, that they create, the scary adverts.
yeah.
It's all made to make you think and go, oh, I better cooperate, otherwise I'm going to die or my family's going to die. However, that is not the case. Okay, if you're vulnerable and ill and old, or have a immune deficiency, then yes, you are probably going to get it, but it's more akin to the flu or pneumonia. That's what it's more, synced to. If you're a young person, relatively healthy person, you're not going to get it. You might get it, but then you have no symptoms of it, and that's been proven as well. Like, a lot of people have been tested to have it, but don't feel anything. They're just carriers. So, this whole panic is false and is on purpose to scare people, to make them cooperate.
Well, looking at I just googled deaths in the UK.
Yeah.
So currently, apparently, we're on 46,201 deaths.
Okay.
Right. It says there have been 305,000 confirmed cases, and when on the recovered tab, there's nothing.
Okay.
So they're assuming no one's recovered, or they're just trying to hide that people have recovered
Yeah.
of COVID. But I've seen many things online where people have put my journey through COVID, and people have survived it.
Yeah.
No matter what their age is, because I know age played into a game massively during the beginning of it for some reason.
No, yeah, that's all they were talking about, is the age and if they had underlying health conditions. Like, all of a sudden, that stopped. They stopped reporting on the age of the person or what condition they were in. Like, all these people that have been dying, they could be seriously ill. They could be in care homes, because I know that was a big sort of problem. Care homes didn't have enough, because they're privately owned, some of them, most of them. They didn't have enough, I guess, equipment, and the staff weren't trained properly, so they weren't being cared after, and that's where most of the deaths were coming from, because the hospitals actually closed during the beginning. All they had was COVID patients. They were just treating COVID patients, but even then it was like maximum of 20, 30 in a hospital.
Yeah.
And they built fucking Nightingale hospitals, those big, massive, like that big, massive one in London, at the one of the like conference centres right in the centre.
Yeah, didn't they change the what was it, where we went to Comic-Con, the Excel Centre, that turned into like a hospital for a bit.
That was it. The Excel Centre turned into a Nightingale hospital, massive, supposed to house hundreds of people, housed about 7, I think, and then they closed it down temporarily and have now turned it into a cancer treatment centre for all the, what's it called? I've fucking forgotten what it's called. What's it called?
I don't know what you're on.
when you book appointment, that's it. Yeah, they've turned the Nightingale, that Nightingale Hospital into a cancer treatment place for all the appointments that they cancelled or delayed with normal hospitals due to the coronavirus. That's where a lot of the deaths have come from as well. Like, a lot of mistreated people when they had appointments to do with cancer, or
They were just shut out.
Yeah, they were just like, okay, we've got to delay this. You can't come in. You got to go to a specialist center, or you got to go to this. They were messed about. GPs are pretty bad as well, overall. So yeah, the whole mistreatment of this health system, it's just caused this more overall panic and this death rate to go up.
Yes, saying that, just looked up the worldwide cases and deaths and whatnot.
Hmm.
So confirmed cases, there's 18 million
Okay.
across the globe. Death. Deaths, there's 689,000, right?
Yeah.
On the worldwide one, it actually has how many people have recovered,
Yeah.
which is 10.7 million.
Yeah.
On most countries, it has how many people have recovered. So why have the UK blocked theirs? Why? That's what I want to know. Why have we sort of blocked how many people have recovered from COVID?
Because they're not confident. Like that there, like I said in the previous one, and like I've been talking about before, there was a the 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 deaths that have been calculated wrong since the beginning. Then there was like this big thing where I forget what the whole system's called, but it's the entirety of the England health record system was calculating the deaths wrong, and Matt Hancock, the health secretary, I believe, of England, was doing an investigation of it. Yet that was like maybe a couple weeks ago. He said that, and all of a sudden it's gone quiet. No one said anything. I feel like they're trying to hide it because they are quite embarrassed of their incompetence of recording the accuracies of these deaths.
It does seem dumb on that point. It is. See, it's really frustrating and confusing
It is.
because you want to believe one side that, originally when it first started, my
Mm.
thoughts were, it's not going to be that bad, is it?
Yeah.
They're bringing it up to be more than it is.
Yeah.
Then didn't it turn to be pretty like bad, and you thought, oh God, yeah, this is like loads of people are getting it or dying from it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you think, right, loads of people online are saying that this happened instead of this. So then you start questioning it. So it's that
Mm.
confusing state of,
Yeah.
so they got you to believe it, shit got leaked,
Mm.
they panicked and tried to cover it,
Yeah.
failed massively,
Mm.
and now the whole country is pretty much against the government. Because
Yeah.
if right at first, if they came up and said their plan to
Mm.
us, yeah, we would have said, well, that's dumb. But, well, to be fair, yeah, we just would have gone against it. They should,
Yeah.
and then maybe they would have rethought it. But obviously, government, super secret, ooh. It's fucked up our country pretty much, let's face it, because Boris came out for his daily talks to
Yeah.
talk about whatever, how we're going to recover from this, what we should do next, what we should do next.
Mm.
And they got worse and worse and worse. Like someone at my work, he's part-time because he also works in the school. And I
Yeah.
asked him how the schools work. And he said, so there's like 6 children to a classroom right now.
Mm.
Um, when it's time to go out and play, they have to be distant, but the kids do not have to wear face masks.
Yeah.
So, as far as I know as well, the teachers don't have to all the time either,
Mm.
which I thought was quite weird. I thought the teachers would have to wear them because of the kids,
Mm.
but apparently not. If like they're teaching and they need to get close, they will then put on a face mask. But the fact that you're in a classroom anyway, and you know, if there's no circulating air, it
Yeah.
could get worse. Surely you should always wear a face mask then. But
Yeah.
apparently you don't have to until, if a kid needs help, like with whatever they're doing, and the
Yeah.
teacher needs to go towards them, then they put on the face mask.
Mm.
Obviously everything still has to be sanitized, but schools are stupid as well.
Yeah.
So Boris originally should have done, or his team should have done, everything that stayed open or needed to stay open or whatever, that he needed to say what precautions needed to be taken instead
Mm.
of let the school, the shop, the whatever do what they think was necessary.
Yeah.
Because what someone else thinks is necessary, let's say, one of our friends thinks, fuck it, like, I'll do whatever I want because this disease is a lie or whatever.
Mm.
But then we have a friend on the other end of the spectrum that's like, I need to cover myself 24/7.
Yeah.
It's misinformation. We need that leader
Yeah.
to just say, you need to do this. I don't care if you think you need to do this because that's wrong,
Mm.
and you don't need to be that over funny about it because that's dumb.
Mm.
You need to meet in the middle and go, do all this. You
Yeah.
know, cut, wear a face mask, wash your hands regularly, keep clean, shoot
Yeah.
yourself in the foot. I don't know. It's
Mm.
just our government just wasn't prepared enough for this. I know it was like stumbled onto them,
Yeah.
but they were so unprepared that it's fucked the entire country. Other countries are recovering from this pretty alright.
Yeah.
They had some deaths, like I know Italy had quite a lot of deaths and
Mm.
whatnot at first, but as far as I've read, they're recovering pretty alright right now.
Well, they were very strict at the beginning themselves
That's what
compared
we
to
should have
us.
been, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the beginning, like
Mm.
right at the beginning, but a bit into it, we should have been like, "Oh, hold on, yeah."
Mm.
But what was it? We were too worried on the economy and what that would do to us. That all the shops would have to shut. That all this has to shut because the government would have to pay out so much to us, so we could still function as
Yeah.
a society. So we can get
But
our water, our food, all of that.
yeah. Well, that's another thing. With the whole furlough scheme, that's the government paying people who are can't work or whatever, a certain amount. I think that's happening all over the place globally. Um, like that, right? Who do you think's going to pay for that in the long run? It's the people. Taxes are going to go up.
Yeah,
Prices of stuff are going to go up just so we can pay back this whole furlough scheme and to fix the economy. That's what's going to happen. Okay, and with how some businesses are operating at the moment, with closing down certain sectors or firing people or closing down certain job roles, that isn't going to help. That's just going to hurt us even more in the long run. So think about it.
I also know that they refused some companies or places furlough.
Yeah.
I know some people who, they had a job, they were pretty alright,
Mm.
and then this happened, but that the place had to fight to get furlough.
Yeah.
The government said, you're not that important, so you won't get it as much.
Mm.
And then that's obviously lost some people their income, and that's, buggered them for the future.
Yeah. Well, with small businesses, some of them have completely shut down because of this whole thing. Like they've shut down and that's it. They've had to sell everything just so they can survive themselves, the owner. That's gonna hurt the economy even more. Like after all this, we're gonna see the true impact of it, and it's just gonna be put back onto us, and then the people are gonna moan about it purely. Because the government's saying, "Oh, we've got to raise taxes because we've got to build back the economy," and people are going to moan about it when, in the first place, it was you who caused it because you wanted to wear a fucking mask.
The government fucked it a bit. I'll say a bit, a lot.
Yeah.
The news didn't help because they weren't entirely honest either,
No.
and the news are always the more, I want to tell you all the bad news because there's never any good news, and good news is boring.
Yeah.
Bad news is what gets the click.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, this person's died of COVID or whatever, blah blah blah. Everyone
Yeah.
wants to click on how many deaths there are.
Mm.
because we're all psychopaths on the inside, apparently. But as well as it is the government's fault, and it is massively the government's fault, let's face it,
Mm.
the news plays a part in this as well, and the news is fucking bad.
Yeah.
I was on BBC,
Mm.
fucking BBC, and the first article actually is new COVID and flu test gives results in 90 minutes.
Right.
All right, but
How accurate is that?
I haven't read on it yet. I've just clicked on the link.
Okay.
Currently, a third of tests take longer than 24 hours to process.
Okay.
So that's their original statement, that only a third of the tests take longer than 24 hours to process.
Yeah.
So I don't know how accurate this is.
Mm.
So in hospitals, most tests, 9 in 10, are currently turned in around 24 hours,
Yeah.
which I'd rather it be more accurate and take 24 hours than it take 90 minutes and it be like, oh, you might not have it. What do you
Yeah.
mean might not have it? There's either I have it or I don't.
Mm.
There's a massive difference. Currently, they are not saying the percentage of if this is how accurate it is, and they're not saying what people get to use this. Because originally, if you wanted to test yourself for COVID, wasn't there
Yeah.
like certain things you needed and a lot of money needed to test yourself for something like that?
Well, I remember seeing something where they were saying, oh, you might be sent a kit, and would you be willing to spit it into a tube every week to and then send it off to make sure you don't have the coronavirus? Would you do your part for the thing? I just think no, I probably wouldn't do that because can't be asked. Like
Yeah, that's a lot of effort.
it's just unnecessary for people. Like, and these 90-minute tests that supposedly have just come out, how accurate are they? Like, are they going to be? Is it a 50-50 chance? Is it a 70% chance? Like, it's guaranteed. It's not 100%. I know that for a fact.
No, it seems a bit too quick. I know technology's good, but it ain't that good.
No.
But then again, that's just a news outlet saying, "Oh yeah, this is a thing," but they're not
Mm.
putting any statistics to it
No.
because they don't live on statistics.
Mm.
Well, they do, but they don't. They don't want to
Yeah.
give you the information you need to help see if it's useful. They
Yeah.
just want to give you their opinion on
Mm.
what would make them the most money.
Going on from that, then, second question, because it's a good transition into from what you were going on about before, to do with the media and news. Do you trust them? How biased do you think they are? And what do you do to actually research stories and figure out what's real and what's a bit exaggerated?
In my past experiences, as I did do media in college, and we had
Yeah.
to do a lot of researching news, looking up how to do stories and whatnot. All right, let's get first things first. I don't like the news. I think
Okay.
every news outlet there is possible, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So like, BBC, ITV, Sky, all that.
Mm.
Every newspaper, they're all biased. They're biased towards something,
Yeah.
no matter what, because that's human nature. Everyone's going to be biased towards their own thing, so whoever owns it
Mm.
is going to be biased to what they believe or what they see.
Mm.
So the way I sort of gather news, if I ever want to look something up, is it's sort of an assumption you have to assume. So let's say I read something on the BBC, right?
Mm.
And then I will read something on Sky News, ITV News, all that. You
Yeah.
just got to compare stories, and then if they're all different, you got to sort of make it up yourself, because someone's going to be biased towards one person. Like,
Mm.
let's say one news outlet says Boris is great, he does all this and that and whatnot, and then
Yeah.
let's say another news outlet goes, watch Boris beat this child to a pulp or something like that.
Yeah.
You got to see both sides and go, right, which one's more feasible?
Yeah.
if you can't get that, you got to go with assumption. Assumption being that he would not beat a child. So
Yeah.
that's how you get it. It's an awful way to get your news because um, for someone who had to look up things to do with the BBC,
Mm.
I bloody hate the BBC. They were always biased throughout
Mm.
their whole history.
Yeah.
To the point where they would even put Nazi propaganda during the Second World War in their newsletters and on radio and whatnot.
Really?
Yes. The guy who owned BBC, he was a very, let's say, straight-headed man.
Okay.
Everything had to be his way, so you go to work, you have to wear proper suit and everything if you're a man.
Mm.
If you're a woman, you have to wear a dress and stockings.
Okay.
The amount of people he apparently fired because they didn't wear stockings
Mm.
is apparently like above 50
Oh.
because the women weren't wearing stockings. So BBC owner, even though he is dead, but he was sexist to begin with.
Yeah.
To the point where he didn't trust our government during
Okay.
the war. So he decided to put some Nazi propaganda in some newsletters, on radio and everything.
Wow.
So I don't want to call the BBC a bunch of Nazis, but their history was built off of it.
Yeah.
So there's that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the way I get news now
Mm.
is I won't go to BBC News. I won't go to ITV News.
Yeah.
I'll get it off some random idiot on the internet.
Yeah.
Like he'll post an article or something saying this is this. I'll skim through that article
Mm.
and I'll probably see the same article somewhere else.
Mm.
I'll just have to get it from two sources to see if it's real.
Mm.
Because let's say I can write tomorrow,
Yeah.
like one of our friends, I'll use Charlie as an example because he was on the podcast last time.
Yeah.
I can write that he is the biggest hypocrite I've ever known in my life on an article, and I can give many reasons why. But then you can write an article about him that why he's not a hypocrite and why he
Yeah.
was just giving his opinions
Okay.
to like people. So, you know,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to read both and see which one's more feasible. But
Mm.
let's say, again, I write he's a hypocrite and all this thing, and then you do the same.
Mm.
I gotta guess that is sort of true.
Yeah.
Even if they try and bend the truth a bit, it's sort of true.
Yeah.
So you gotta take everything any news outlet says, I don't care what news outlet it is,
Yeah.
with a pinch of salt.
Mm.
Because half the time they're not saying the whole truth, especially when it comes to politics.
Yes.
So I do try and avoid political news, like through BBC and all that. And I know some politics, they have their own website or whatnot, and they'll post what they are going to do on that website.
Yeah.
So I'll go through that instead of going through, let's say, the news where some news outlet would go, he's a great man, he'll do this and this, and then the other one goes, oh, but he was a scumbag in the past, look what he's done. It's like, I'm just going to go to their website. They say they're going to do this. That's all I want to know. They say, oh, I'm going to do this for the economy, do that for that for that, done, sorted.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that's what I want, straight to the point, what you're going to do or what you promise. Not that, one news outlet, I'm going to suck his cock, and the other one going, I'm going to beat you half to death,
Yeah.
So main news outlet is either from the original source, like I will try and find as close as I can to someone writing an article, or blogs. I think some blogs are quite helpful with news outlets. But BBC I can't stand. There's They're so stuck up their own ass.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't like the BBC very much.
Especially,
Um,
yeah,
like
bad.
in especially in current times, I hate them. I don't trust them. I really couldn't give a crap what they think or what they say. And I've seen their bias, and it's very obvious they're biased in most of their Twitter posts and their articles. But in their Twitter posts, you can see where they're coming from and how they word them as well.
Yeah,
It's like if an advisor in the government says they're going to have this plan, that it will say this advisor has this plan to sort out this problem, and then at the end of it it'll go, but does it really work, or will it really work? And then you read the article and it's clearly them just going, it's not going to work, these guys are idiots. If you look at that past, it's very biased. You can look at it in a different way as well, as in they're questioning things, but they're clearly not questioning, and they're being biased. They're just attacking that point that
yeah,
this advisor has said. So it's very clear where they come from, um, and that even their whole ethic, their whole everything about them, the BBC I'm talking about mainly, is crap. Like, we have to pay for a TV license to watch BBC shows. I don't want to I've seen this going around the whole the internet now for a while. It's defund the BBC. Basically,
yeah.
stop paying your TV license. You don't have to pay your TV license if you don't watch the BBC. You don't have to pay for it. Um, People are afraid to do it because you can be arrested and put in jail for not paying your TV license, which is absolutely retarded. I think that's one of the most retarded things I've ever heard.
And it's like what, 130 quid a month or something? No, 130
Yeah,
quid for a year. Sorry.
yeah, it's like 130, 170 for a year or something. And all of a sudden, recently they've brought back the whole, under, if you're over 70 or whatever, you don't have to pay. But they've brought it back where you have to pay now if you're over 70. So that's pretty bad. That's gonna just make people, eat into their pension even more when they
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing. Like, they've worked their ass off. It's time for them to just relax.
So yeah, I know before this recording, I was talking about the main guy in the BBC. I cannot remember his name right now, but
Yeah.
so when BBC started the TV license, which was about just after the war, I think,
Mm.
like 47, 46. Um, the man who decided, in the BBC, who said, he was going on TV, BBC was going on news on TV, on radio as well and whatnot. He
Yeah.
hated TV.
Yeah.
I reckon that's why he done it. He just
Hmm.
despised TV so much that he was going to make every idiot who watched it pay for it.
Yeah, no, that's probably what happened.
Which, so when I in college when I had to look him up, it
Yeah.
was confirmed that he hated television. He never wanted to start BBC on television, and he never owned one in his house, even though if you worked in the BBC, you got a free TV.
That's weird.
But he never owned one in his house. Or I think he put one in his house, but he didn't use it.
Huh.
It's stupid. He's an idiot. So, because I remember, like, when I was a kid, it was about 100 odd quid a month or 80 odd quid or something
Yeah.
like that. And now, let me look up how much it is now because I might be wrong that it's 130, but I'm sure it is. Like,
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like pretty bad. An unnecessary price for something that you might watch two channels or even a couple episodes of something that the BBC produce on their service. That doesn't, that's not worth it.
I just read this. This is so stupid. So, £157.50 for a
Yeah.
year for a TV license, right? Get this though. If you only own a black and white TV set, it's
Mm.
53 quid a year. Who,
What?
who nowadays owns a black and white TV set? Who
That
watches a
can
black and white TV?
I could just turn my fucking TV or monitor monochrome. There you go, black and white.
£53 a month. You've saved yourself like 100 quid.
Or I could just bung the TV off, install a personal like PC home theater system. There you go. I don't have to pay the license anymore.
Well,
Cancel my license.
realistically, because I personally I don't watch a lot of TV. I will not
No, I
go.
don't.
I won't go in my living room and watch TV. I will watch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime. I pay for all these services
Yeah.
to watch them, right? So I shouldn't have to pay, well, a TV license
Yeah.
because I don't do anything to do with the BBC.
No, yeah.
If I need some news, yeah, I'll go on their website, but that's not a TV license. That's, I'm paying for my internet connection for that.
You're basically reading their digital newspaper,
Yeah.
which
So
should be what? Pennies, like 50p for a paper.
don't get me started on newspapers because they cost too much as well.
I don't know. I genuinely I don't know how much they cost.
So because during COVID, obviously people don't go out. Our across the road neighbours, they are like in their 90s. They
Yeah.
don't want to go outside in fear that they will catch it.
Mm.
So every morning, my girlfriend will go and get the papers for them. I think it's like £1.10 for
£1.10.
for newspapers, but that's more. The reason it's that much is because of the print. You're not paying for the news inside. You're paying for, the actual physicality of it. You're paying for the paper.
Yeah.
You're paying for the ink on said paper.
The thing is, ink and that paper is actually relative. It's like maybe it costs them probably about 40 to 30p for the ink and paper for a single newspaper. It's really cheap. They need to make it up to a certain amount though, so they can pay for their, employees.
Well, they're also getting the money through the
writing.
ads that are in said newspaper.
That's true as well. Yeah, they're probably getting a fair amount for that.
So I know certain ads on certain, like I'm gonna use ITV because one of the teachers in my old college, he worked for ITV Meridian.
Yeah.
If you wanted an ad on ITV Meridian, right? Like a 15-second ad or a 10-second ad or something would cost over £12,000. So that's, you have to, in that 10 seconds, whoever's advertising has that 10 seconds. If it's any less, like any more, like if they accidentally make it 11 seconds, it'll just cut. They'll just cut it.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't care. They only paid for 10 seconds. They're only getting 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's how much it costs for like an ad on a TV show. So an ad on a page is probably going to cost around the same. It's just like the same with the Super Bowl. Ads on there that'll be in the millions.
Yeah.
To get a Super Bowl commercial.
They have loads of ads during that, don't they?
I know. I read that there was this company fighting to get an ad there, and they originally bidded for about $1 million to have like a 6-second ad. And
it's quite. If you think about that, it's quite a big thing, isn't it? Because the amount of millions of people that are watching worldwide as well.
Yeah, but what that company then realised is they needed to add about £5 million into their original cost to get the ad in, because people were speculating so much that it's like different companies are going, I'm going to pay you 10 million for like 8 seconds. Imagine 10 million for 8 seconds. That's insane.
Think about how much it could make you though. Like 10 million for 8 seconds. That could make you maybe 50 million.
So
overall,
it's just like the So a certain company under the name of Skittles paid for an ad on the Super Bowl, and then the Super Bowl banned the ad and never showed it. Do you know what the ad I'm talking about?
No, I've heard about controversies about these sorts of ads before, but I'm guessing in my head what I might think it might be.
It's the I don't really want to say it, so you might have to cut this, but it's the ad where it's the two couples after their wedding, and they're about to do the deed, and then when he finishes a rainbow of Skittles onto her.
Oh no, I have seen that. I have seen that. Yes.
And they paid for that to go on air.
Yeah.
Super Bowl accepted it and never showed it. So they refused to show it, and then obviously it crept up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Skittles got annoyed and sort of wanted their money back, but I don't know if they ever did. I don't know what the lawsuit for that was, because obviously that's going into the America lawsuit, which is like like 18,000 pages longer than ours. So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened after that, but I know Super Bowl refused to show it.
No, there was another advert I remember. It was like I think it was like a Swedish or some sort of weird European country advert where it's to do with Johnny's
Right.
condoms. It was basically this
Was
this
it the
father.
bathroom wall one, or was it a different one?
No, I think it was a different one. It was like this guy, this father in a shopping center with his kid, and his kid's being annoying, saying, "I want this, I want that," you know, grabbing things and pulling a tantrum, and it just pulls to the father's face like him being quite depressed, and it goes, you know, and then it brings up the condom ad saying, you know, you should have used this. It's pretty bad, but it's pretty funny. But they banned it.
I know. I don't think it was banned as such.
Yeah.
I remember this being an advert, and I think it played before the Watershed at one point, and some company got a real big shit for it. It was.
Yeah.
Have you seen the bathroom wall one?
No, I don't think so.
Where it's someone's manhood, right, on the drawing on a white
Right.
bathroom wall, and there's all these fannies about, but
Okay.
they're all repelled because he's not wearing a Johnny. And this
Okay.
girl comes in the bathroom and sees it really sad, and she draws a rubber over it, you know, like a Johnny over
Oh,
it. And
oh
then
no.
they all swarm to him.
I think I do remember something like that. Yeah.
That played before Watershed at one point. That they got into shit for that. But it's the point of all these companies, especially like BBC and whatnot, they just want to
Yeah.
take everyone's money. It's the point of the money, especially
Yeah.
especially on adverts. So obviously, yeah, I was on about the ITV Meridian taking 12.5K
Yeah.
for like 10 seconds.
Mm.
I think that's gone up since then, because
Yeah.
that was quite a while ago.
Mm.
But you know, the BBC being that free in like, you know, asterisks or whatever,
Yeah.
news outlet that you can, you know, get all your news from and everything, but you still have to pay that 150 quid a month. Not a month, a year. Sorry, I keep saying a month for some reason. It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like, for what? Biased news.
No, yeah, you get shit news, very shit news, and you get nowadays shit TV shows. Nothing's good anymore. Like it's all like comedy's gone down the drain due to all this political correctness bollocks. Going back though to you know, paying for the TV license, and they're supposed to be, oh, you know, it's free, or you know, it's not free. You know, you get good content for what you pay for.
And you get no ads, apparently.
You don't get good content, okay? And the amount of money globally, well, not globally, locally in England, that people pay for the BBC, that goes to all these fucking presenters and producers that get paid shit tons that then lecture you on what you should think and what you should know and how, you know, you should be politically and all this crap. It's bollocks. It's absolutely bollocks. They go on about, like, it's clear that the BBC follow left-wing views, you know, like Labour. You know, basically Labour's supposed to be for, you know, it's in their name, Labour, therefore the working class, the working people. Okay? However, in current times, New Labour, due to Tony Blair, and people can argue this, the toss, they're saying, oh, he's a secret conservative. Fuck off. He's not. New Labour, which I'm going to include Jeremy Corbyn in because he's a piece of shit.
He's a tosser, isn't he?
He is. Keir Starmer, he's more competent than Jeremy Corbyn, but he's not a leader at all. But anyway, tangent. He's, Labour, BBC clearly follow leftist views like Labour, yet they go on about and support all this left shit, which is supposed to be against capitalism and rich people, yet them themselves are extremely rich and use capitalism to gain their wealth from. It's retarded. It's a retarded argument that I wish people researched and could see, because it is very clear that that's what they do. They argue that democracy, or not democracy, capitalism is a worse system than communism, yet they use capitalism to gain their wealth to cry about communism. It's stupid. They want communism for the public, for the people. That way it's shit for the people and better for them. That's how China works.
Yeah, it is a bit stupid. This is like going back to the Leave and Remain.
Yeah.
A while ago, because I don't know. Were you old enough to vote back then?
Yeah. That's when I could vote, and that's when I did vote, and that's when I got into politics.
Yeah, because I remember having an argument with Charles, and at this point, is when I said to him, I'd never want to talk politics to him again.
Yeah.
Because this is what bugged me about Charles, because everyone I knew wanted to leave. All right.
Yeah.
I was on the Remain side. I actually wanted to remain.
Yeah.
Because the things that certain people were saying, that if we left, we would get this, we'd get that, was so unrealistic that it couldn't have been true.
Yeah.
There was no physical possible way that that was correct. So, I vote Remain. I know most of my friends, if they could vote, would have voted Leave.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're in this situation now where we've left, and all the promises that he pretty much said we would have gone down the shitter. None of it's happened, and none of it seems like it's going to happen. Well, to the point where he almost nearly said we need to shut down the NHS.
Right. With that, I'm gonna say that you know this. I voted Leave.
Yeah.
I voted Conservative and all that because I trusted him. Now, with the talks that were going on, they were going pretty interestingly. Okay, I'm not going to say well or negative. They were just going, in a direction that, in my view, was leading to a no-deal Brexit, which I think is the best. That is still happening. That is still currently secretly going on, but the news very rarely report on it due to COVID-19.
I think it's because it's like everyone's fed up of it.
People are fed up. It's been going on for years now. Okay, it's been going on for years.
I think it started in like 2012 or 2013 is when Brexit was first actually talked about.
No, yeah, David Cameron brought it up, and he's the one who fucking set the ball.
Okay, he's rolling. An idiot. If anything, I'm glad he's gone. He is an idiot. Right?
No, I agree. David Cameron was an arse. He said, all right, we're going to call a vote. Let's put it up to the people if they want to leave Europe. That people voted yes, we want to leave, and then he said, all right, I'm bailing, and then he left.
Out of it.
Yeah, he fucking scattered out, and then is it Theresa May got involved? She wasn't great.
Well, yeah, we won't even go on to her because what a waste of oxygen.
No, I'm going to say Theresa May wasn't great as a leader. She wasn't strong enough. It's not because she's a woman or anything, okay? She just isn't strong. Okay, she just isn't strong enough for a leader. She wasn't capable. She wasn't prepared. She was pushed into it. Pretty much like Gordon Brown was done with after fucking Tony Blair, okay? Then Boris Johnson got involved. Now, people like Boris Johnson. He has history. He has... he was mayor of London. He had a lot of stories and controversy and blah, 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 all that behind him.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He is a bit nuts.
He is nuts, but, I won't call him a psychopath. He's a bit nutty in the sense that he's scatty. All right.
But he's not doing bad considering.
No.
Yeah.
After yeah, what was I going on about? Fucking yeah. After Theresa May, Boris Johnson, all that shit happened, and now we're in the state that we are. Brexit talks. Thing is, things are happening. We do have, I believe, anyway, from what I've read and what I've heard, and what I've seen of Priti Patel, we do have the Australian style points based immigration system, whereas if you have a certain skill set, or you have these, you have a job to go to with England that pays a certain amount, you are welcome. You'll be accommodated. You're going into a job. You're gonna bring goodness to the economy, basically. If you have nothing like that, you are not allowed in. Like Australia, you have to have a job to go to. You have to bring a certain skill level into this country to make it better. However, I have seen that kind of fail recently due to I don't know what's happening, but Nigel Farage. Have you heard of him?
Oh, wasn't he the UKIP man?
He was the UKIP man. He left UKIP due to them going in a direction that he, I believe, didn't agree with, or he just left. I can't remember what the specifics were. Then he started Brexit Party, which actually I believed helped pull votes away from Labour to the Conservatives. Like, people thought, I'm not going to vote Labour because of Jeremy Corbyn, but I don't really want to vote Brexit Party, so I'm going to vote Conservative. So I believe that helped pull people in. And make the Conservatives win. He has recently been on Twitter and all that, has been reporting and showing immigrants coming in recently as well on Kent Beach, them pulling up and washing ashore, and no one, like, no reports or anything on it. All these immigrants, where are they being stayed? And then he even reported on a hotel that he tried to book a room in. However, he couldn't because it was closed to the public due to them housing immigrants that had just appeared ashore of England. Like, what's happening to them?
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it now. He literally posted a video of some bunch of people illegally getting in through in Kent by Kent.
Yeah. No, like, no one's reporting on it apart from him. And the government aren't talking about it. They're not talking about, okay, we're going to get rid of these people. I want to know what's happening with these people. Are they just being housed and then sent back? I'm okay with paying my taxes for that, but what else is happening? Are they being housed and then allowed into the country? What's happening with them? No one's talking about that. That's the main issue I have with the Brexit, situation that's going on. Because I think all the other things that are going on, because the deals and everything is still being talked about between Europe and England. I do think it's going to be a no deal, which means it's going to be better for us, not Europe. Because Europe really didn't want us to leave because we were making them the most money. Like,
because we got the dollar bills.
We do. We
pound sterlings. What?
Yeah, pound sterling. we do have a really good economy that was great for Europe, and us pulling out really is going to harm them. And I think it's going to be, there's going to be more countries after us that are going to be doing the old, Brexit style leave situation. But yeah, that's the main thing I have a problem with Brexit, is that what's going on with the immigration. I think it's going down the right route though with the no deal, but with the whole immigrants coming in at the moment, I want to know what's going on with those.
Yeah, so I know so obviously America have this massive problem with that as well. With I know it's the stereotypical one to say, but it's all the Mexicans that are trying to cross the border.
Yeah.
And obviously that they deal with it by they literally just put them back in a van and send them back. That's literally how they do it. But pardon me, especially through this video that I was watching Nigel Farage post, there's this they come through like in a rubber dinghy.
Yes.
It's like, how are you supposed to react to that? How do you send them back? They're literally on the beach. They're all their clothes hanging up because they're all soaked.
Yeah.
So they're all like half naked on this beach, right?
Mm.
Trying to sneak their way in.
Yeah. Well.
And obviously, they're coming into the country illegally. They should
Yeah.
be sent back, in my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Someone put them on a boat, put bunch back on the boat, and just
Mm.
send them back. You don't need to like do anything too drastic, because I know as soon as people go, "You're a racist because you said you need to send them back to their own country."
Yeah.
Yes, but if I
No.
decided to like take a rubber dinghy to bloody like I don't know, like the Netherlands or France or something, and I decide to live
Yeah.
there, but under the radar, so I don't have to pay any taxes or anything.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah. No.
That's
Exactly. Like if it was a bunch of American immigrants, like Americans, white people coming over to England on rubber dinghies, I'd go, no, send them back.
yeah. It's like
It doesn't. I don't care what their skin color is. They're illegal. They're gonna harm our country and economy.
I don't care on your race, what color you are, what your views are.
Yeah.
If you're coming into the country illegally, avoiding taxes, you know,
Yeah.
and just harming us more and more, just get lost.
Yeah.
Go through the right procedures. I know sometimes it's hard and long, but
Yeah.
it might be worth your time if you do it
Yeah.
more, and if
And
you think you have the skills.
And I will say this, if you're, you're born in a country that's war torn, then I'm just gonna say that's pretty tough luck. Like, I'm sorry, you can, and you do have the capability of making that a better life for you by moving to other countries, doing things properly, and then eventually getting money to move to a country. It may be extremely difficult. Yes, I understand, but I'm sorry, but that's how the world works, and that's how the world should work. You shouldn't just come to another country illegally and then go, okay, yeah, I get free money, I'm allowed to do this, when the other people in that country are subdued to all these rules and taxes, and you're not. That's not fair.
I know we have an all right life here, but
Mm.
it's not like it's the best in England, especially at the current circumstances with everything that's happening. I know it's not as bad as, let's say, some people in Africa who live in that war-torn state, or Iraq and blah blah blah, or that.
Yeah.
It's bad, yeah. You got the worst of it all. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you don't, but coming here and trying to fuck up the shit here, coming into the country, taking benefits, not paying taxes, doing all that.
Yeah.
It's like me going to their country, finding where they live, taking the bread off their table and eating it in front of them.
No, yeah. If you do the opposite, they would hate you. They like, especially in places like Iraq and Iran, right? They would probably kill you. I'm not being, over the top here. They probably would. They stone gays and throw them off buildings, okay, for being gay. All right.
God, yeah, you'd be hurt so much there.
Yeah, I know me. I'm not gay, by the way.
Oh yeah, right.
No, but yeah, I like that whole, reverse argument. People seem to forget. Like, don't defend these people that are coming over illegally. They're illegal. It's illegal. It's in the name.
I like the argument as well that you said. It's like, oh, if it was like someone from America or someone else in Europe, it's like, yeah, I don't care what race you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how you talk. I don't care how you look. If you come into the country, you could be the most stunning, beautiful person in the world, the most gifted person ever, right?
Yeah.
But if you come illegally in that bloody rubber dinghy, I'm pushing you back.
Yeah. It's like, against the rules. I'm sorry.
It's like, you say you have the skill, you have the looks, you have everything. Yeah, just do your documents.
Yeah.
And come in. Because, as I said, if you have the skills, you can be accepted.
Exactly.
So
Uh, such a painful argument that it's been like the whole Brexit thing has been ongoing now for years. It's painful. It's difficult. It's gone quiet. It's gone loud.
it's just no one wants to talk about it anymore.
No one wants to talk about it anymore. But yet people, I don't know. It has just gone quiet.
Yeah.
It's just I find that quite annoying that it's still not being spoken about. But
So, it's also because obviously I have friends all across England, in Scotland, Wales, and all that, right?
hmm,
Obviously Scotland tried their referendum to leave England, being in the UK.
yeah,
They failed that twice.
yeah.
Twice, may I add. But they
Oh,
still moan about. This is what I don't understand. Scotland annoys me. I talked to my friend about this in Scotland. He's got the
yeah,
most Scottish name ever, Angus,
yeah.
right? And I talked to him about it. I was like, "What's going on with your people?" And he went, "What do you mean?" I went, "You're all idiots." And he went, "How?" I went, "Right. We decided to have, to leave the EU."
Yeah.
And he went, "Yeah." I was like, "Scotland wanted to leave the UK." And he went, "Aye." I was
Mhm.
like, "But when you all voted, you voted to stay." And he went, "Yes." I was
Yeah.
like, "What's the point?"
Yeah.
And he went, "Scottish, innit?" It's like, that's not an argument. What was the point? You went through all this trouble. You even got the vote to go forward, and then you
Yeah.
fucked it. And then it happened again. And I was like, "You failed the second time." And he went, "I know." I went, "What's going on then? What's happening in Scotland that we don't know?" All right. He was like,
Uh,
"Look, man, I don't know what's happening, but every time we try to leave you, we just stay attached, all right?" I was like, "Just get a saw and saw you off from the channel in a minute, because if they have a
no,
third one and it comes back, because
yeah.
I don't know if there's talks for another one, but just bloody
I
Scotland,
think
they could do anything at this
I
point.
think I think Boris has been very against it, and he probably won't allow it.
Probably ban it eventually, because third
Maybe.
time's a try, and if they don't do it this time, it'd be like, all right, they're just taking the piss.
The thing is, there was something recently as well to do with like Brexit and Russians being involved in the whole fucking election shit. That was debunked, like fucking America. And then people like Scotland brought up fucking Russians interfering with their fucking independence election. Fuck off. All right.
I also remember him saying this. This was the best thing. He said to me, "Without Scotland, England's fucked."
Mm,
I went, "What do you mean? Elaborate on this." And he went, "You get most your goods from us."
yeah.
And I said to him, "Haggis and kilts are not good, okay?" And he told me to go fuck myself and said, "No, we send you like shipments of this shit and that shit and like oil
Yeah.
preserves that." I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? You're an
No.
idiot." It's just,
They,
we're giving to you like you're giving to us, because we're part of the United fucking Kingdom.
yeah.
It's all one place. It's not like, "Oh, Joe, I'll trade you this pair of scissors in my hand
Yeah.
for a pen in your house."
Oh.
It's if that was separate, that would work. But
Hmm.
if we were connected, it'd be like, "Right, I'm gonna have that pen because I need it,
Yeah.
but you can have this pair of scissors whenever you want."
Yeah.
And that's how it works, because we're all in conjunction,
Mm.
pretty much.
Yeah.
It was how it should work.
Yeah.
Whether it does in companies or not, bloody God knows. But
Probably not. But there's also hypocrisy there to do with like them wanting independence, but then wanting to stick with Europe. They're both unions. They're both stuck together. Like what? Like there's hypocrisy on both sides. Like them wanting to leave, and the left supporting the independence of Scotland. But then if England and the United Kingdom want independence from Europe, that's not allowed.
they even changed the voting age, if you remember, in Scotland.
No, yeah, no. They wanted to change it in England as well. It's like, oh, older people voted for Brexit, but not the younger people. Let's
Oh,
change the voting age. It's like, no, you lost. Shut the fuck up.
so this is where my argument comes, and everyone hates my argument for this, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna state it now. Are you ready? Right?
Mhm.
You should not be able to vote if you are over the age of 65 to 70, maybe. You should not be able to vote over that age, because
Okay.
It's not your future.
Interesting.
That is my opinion. I actually heard, funnily enough, a comedian say it, but
Yeah.
he was being deadly serious. I think he was what? He was like 65 to 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
And someone said to him, "Aren't you like that age?" And he went, "Yeah, but it ain't my future. I'm gonna die in the next 3 years, so fuck it." It's like, I think it should be from the age of 70, because obviously every time you get older, you know, you get the more chance of you're gonna die. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
say that more peacefully, but it isn't your future.
Yeah.
That is the issue. It's like all these old people with their old thoughts that this should happen and this should happen. It's like,
Yeah.
but no.
That's in a way I kind of agree, but then from my point of view that I want, freedom for everyone to say or do what they want.
Yeah, because that goes against the freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's like that I let people, even if they're fucking 90 years old, let them vote, because it's that's a difficult one. In a way, I'd kind of disagree. I'd like go, just let them vote, because the majority of there's more younger, or middle-aged people that are going to have that future more than them. So their vote is very minuscule in a way, if you look at it from that point of view.
Yeah.
So, I'd probably say, let them vote, because it's some older people think with liberal views, or, more, younger views, because they're more converted, or that's just how they think.
Yeah, but let's say this is going to change when we're older. So when we're like 60 odd, the younger people are going to think differently.
Oh yeah, that's going to
especially with what's going on now with all
yeah.
Whatever's going on in the world. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be known as a sofa and not a girl. It's like, what do you mean? It's not physically possible.
That's
like,
currently happening
yes,
now.
it is.
Yeah.
Let me sit on you, then. You...
Whoa.
It's like, it's stupid, because that was the argument. It's like, right, fine. Getting on to gender quickly. If you don't want to be a boy or girl and you just want to be nothing, you know what? I'm cool with that. You do you.
Yeah.
Right? But the people that shove it in your face, because I have this thing where it's like, right, you do you. I don't care, because it's not going to affect me whether you're a boy or a girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, but it's when they make it your problem.
Yes.
It's like, right, this is it. I don't give a shit at what you are. You're a piece of shit on the bottom of my shoe right now. I don't want to know about you. I want to scrape you off and forget about you for the rest of my life. Why don't you shut up?
They make themselves the piece of shit. Like, I don't like you can be what you want. You can be a fucking tranny. You can be what you want. You can do what you want. I don't care. But if you start shoving it in my face and companies start taking it on and it starts becoming adverts and all this, it's just like being beamed into my face, then that's when I start to hate it.
It's also the issue like, when you say that, when you say I don't care, do what you want, they think that's an issue, because they think that means you're against them. It's like, no, it doesn't mean I'm against you. It means it doesn't affect me, so I don't give a shit. Do you know why? Because I am a male, and I think I am a male, okay? That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I don't care what any other bloody person is. All I need to know is what the people in my life are. Like, obviously, I'm dating someone right now. I need to know what she is. If she didn't say she was a female, I'll be like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I support it all and whatnot, but
yeah,
it affects you, So the people in your life.
Yeah, because it's directly attached to you. Then then you're more involved with it. You got to think more rationally. But if it's just some random person that starts making a post and it starts being advertised and pushed into your face, it's like, I don't care about you. You can be fucking fuck a dude in the ass. I don't care. I don't want to know about it because it's your sexuality. I don't talk about these things, so I don't want to hear about it.
Yes, this was because this was also the argument on the Black Lives Matter thing as well.
Okay.
Because it was obviously they say, oh, Black Lives Matter. It's like, oh yeah, but all lives matter. Yes,
Yeah.
we know this. All right, you can say Black Lives Matter. Go ahead, but
Mm.
how you're going about proceeding Black Lives Matter is what makes people not want to deal with Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
there was the someone put this quote, and I did actually really like this quote. It's like it was actually in the Bible. I hate to say that it was in the Bible, but it was it was it was a man and Jesus, and a man had all his sheep in a pen, but one escaped. Jesus went to go look for that sheep, but the man said, "What, are you going to leave all this sheep?" It's like, no, because all these sheep are fine. That sheep needs help, so I'm going to bring it back. That was a quote I really liked, because it's like, oh yeah, they need help, and obviously, yeah, black people do get treated differently.
Yeah.
But if you go out of your way, let's say that sheep goes out of its way to cause mayhem, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's what all these protesters are doing. You know, ripping down statues, destroying stuff and whatnot. To the point where I walked past this memorial thing to go to my work. There was a guy that stood there and went, I gotta watch this. I don't know who he is, but he said, I gotta watch this. I was like, all right, man. He went, gotta save it from the blacks tearing it down. It's like, see, that's what they've made a name for themselves to do.
No, yeah, it causes division. It causes racism. This act that they're doing.
So they've made more issues from themselves. It's dumb. If they literally done something like because originally they said, oh, we are having peaceful protests, but ripping a statue out of the floor and threatening to rip more statues out of floors is not a peaceful protest.
No. Yeah, no, the media, again, going back to the media, they portray it as peaceful protesters. They're not peaceful. If you actually look at the evidence and what people post, like, I think his name's Andy NGO on Twitter, he's been posting loads of stuff about Portland rioters, and the media's been portraying them as peaceful. They are not peaceful. They've been setting fires. They've been attacking and throwing firebombs and explosives at the Portland Federal Building, where federal agents are housed. It's an attack. It's terrorism.
A peaceful unfortunately, humans will never be able to do ever a peaceful protest because we are naturally violent. I've even got a pair of scissors in my hand and I'm doing like just cutting away. See, we're naturally violent. We can't help it.
Yeah.
It's you know how we evolved to do all this. So if they actually managed to do a peaceful protest where it would just be words said and not ripping stuff, throwing stuff and all that, it would be fine. But the fact that they're causing violence by throwing all these, you know, Molotovs and shit, or ripping these things out the floor and doing all that, it's making it worse. They're making their cause, what they want, worse, and it's getting lower and lower to the point where you know, when people saw, obviously when I walked past that guy and it's like, I gotta watch the statue. If a black person passed that statue, he'd be so triggered at them.
Yeah.
But it's not even their fault. It's the other people's fault for protesting. Those idiots who have protested have made a name for themselves so bad that it's affected everyone of colour.
Yeah.
So it's gone backwards instead of forwards.
Oh yeah, no, it's causing, like I said, it's causing division. It's causing more division than what was happening before, because people in America talk about systemic racism, but yet they've got chiefs of police that are black. They've got Congress members that are black. They had a president that was black. How is that systemic? That is not systemic racism. That's fairness.
We're almost going back towards where we were in like the 50s and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like that's what
we're heading towards.
No, I feel like going into sort of, I'm gonna say it as like sort of the conspiracy bit, but I feel like that's what the globalists want. They want that sort of divide. They want that negativity towards these people. They want the public just turning on each other so they can get involved in what they want to do.
Oh, it annoys me because as soon as you say, someone goes, are you with Black Lives Matter? And
Yeah.
you go, all lives matter, but I am not racist. That
Yeah.
was the argument. So you are racist if you say that. It's like, I am not racist. I
Yeah.
can go towards. No, so let's say where I work, I can serve a white person fine. Then a
Mm.
black person can walk in, I will serve him the same, and I'll be
Mm.
fine. Asian walks in, same thing. Same thing for every bloody race that walks in.
Mm.
I will never look at anyone differently. You
Mm.
know, I will always be polite to people. The guy that works on the shop, he's Indian. We get along really well. Like we have great laughs. I've been
Yeah.
late to work because I just stand in there and talk to him. This is like I don't see race. I just see
Yeah.
you're a person.
Yeah.
The fact that you want to say that I see a race because I didn't say Black Lives Matter is
Mm.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Because you want me to be part of this bloody trend that is just going downhill.
It is. It is a trend, and I'm gonna say it. It is kind of fashion as well. It's fashionable to be into this sort of thing. It's fashionable to wear masks for COVID because you're wearing different ones. It's fashionable for all. It is fashion.
Yeah.
It boils down. It is going to be fashion amongst people.
I think I remember saying to you, because I think you saw it as well. I logged into Instagram one day,
Mm.
and all I bloody saw was black pictures.
Yeah.
So what is this going to do?
No. Yeah.
It's not going to do anything.
No, yeah. How is that going to solve racism or push the butt? No, it's just fashion. It's just so they can get likes, they can get more followers, they can be more successful. That's what it is.
People are always going to be racist, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, yeah. There's going to be racists. There's going to be non-racists. That's how people work.
People are racist. You know, some people think, oh, racism goes one way, and it's only towards like black people. It's like racism goes every way. It's towards a race. That's what racism is.
Yeah, the definition of racism is you're discriminatory against someone purely because of the color of their skin or where they come from.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to change soon. Do you know when something happens so much that it just changes the word?
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like that, and we're just gonna go, well, fuck.
Well,
Because it's like you know, some films, you know, people say that's racist. Like Django Unchained. I'm gonna use that as an example because they say the N word a lot.
Yeah.
And people go, that's racist, and it's like, if you look at the time frame they're in, that was the normal, right?
Yeah.
And
they're trying to portray a historically accurate you know, it's obviously going to be cartoony violence because it's fucking what's his name?
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. But you know, they still want to keep that historical accuracy of, you know, the times and what it was to be like a black person in that time.
Yeah, so it's because people with the use of that word, the N word, if you use it, you're automatically racist. But let's say in school, not that you went a lot, you you read so you read books like I can't remember the name of the bloody book with Lenny and George. What was it?
Oh, Mice
Mice and Men. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, and they use the N word in that because of the time frame. But you know, in school you get told you need to read aloud. And as soon, you know, you're reading, and you get to that word, and all of a sudden, it's like you're sweating. It's like, oh fuck! It's like it's a fucking word, right? I know it was used as a bad term back in the day.
Yeah.
But then, why do people of that, you know, like I don't want to say it, but why do black people? They will go towards each other and they will use that word, and then they'll go, oh, it means homie. It's like it doesn't mean homie. You know it doesn't mean homie, because if I come towards you and say that, you're going to say I'm racist, and I can go, but you said it means homie.
It's all to do with context, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I could say it, but you know, it does. I'm not, you know, saying it to anyone. I'm not attacking anyone with that word. I'm saying it purely for for, describing the word, to say the word, to know what we're talking about. I mean, we already know what we're talking about, what the word is. I don't want to say it purely because of fucking, backlash, or if I upload this on YouTube, it might get taken down, that sort of thing.
So it's the cause of, as you said, context. It's different to me go towards a friend and go, "Oh, what's up?" That word, and then me going towards someone and going, "You're dirty," whatever. And it's like they're two very different contexts.
Yeah.
One's like, "What's up, my man?" and the other one's like, "Up yours, buddy."
Yeah. Yeah, it's all to do with context. Context seems to be, it's thrown out the window, and if you just say the word, that's it. You're automatically this bad person. You should be thrown in jail. You should be killed. Or blah 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 blah.
Someone in secondary school, someone in my class of color, right? He was black. He would come towards me and he'd call me white chocolate. And you could say that's racist, but you don't see it. It's just like,
I'd laugh at that.
I did.
That's funny.
That was quite funny. It's just like, what's up, white chocolate? I was like, at first I didn't know how to react. Like, hold on, what? What?
As long as I can call you like chocolate chip, I'm fine with that.
Big chocolate daddy.
Anyway, we went from, like the media all of a sudden into Black Lives Matter
to racism, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, final quick question.
This is to gotta be quick because I've got work soon.
Yeah, because we've been like going on for 2 hours now almost. It's a final quick question. Aliens. I want to put this in because this is going to transition well into the next podcast that I want to do. It's to do with aliens. Do you think there is life out there?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. I think so. With what we've seen and the many galaxies there are, obviously we are in the Milky Way and there are many others. There has to be something out there, some form of organism that has to be alive. You can't just say we are the only planet with the only people.
Yeah.
Obviously, people are saying, oh, it's too cold in other places and like on Mars, and it was like, oh, it's too cold, but there has to be. We can't be the only thing out there.
Yeah, no, we can't.
And it's the question of, has anything come down here? That is the question. Because obviously there was the, whether it was real or fake, was it the Roswell, whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether that was real or fake back in, what, was it the 50s or 60s or whatever, 70s?
Yeah, around 60s, 50s, I think.
Yeah, obviously the alien ship crash landing. So it started then, but how would someone come up with that all of a sudden?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. I mean, it's not, but in my opinion, maybe not in our galaxy, maybe not in the Milky Way or whatever, but in another galaxy somewhere there has to be. I want to believe somewhere in our galaxy, in our solar system, somewhere there is life, because obviously we didn't think there'd be life anywhere else, but there's like water on the moon or something, the Sea of Tranquility. There's been proof that there's been water on Mars and shit like that.
Yeah, there's like salt beds on Mars.
So planets like that, it seems realistic that there either was life or there is life that is hiding.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to sort of rule out planets like Jupiter and whatnot because they are gas planets.
Yeah.
But the excuse was for some people that obviously the further out you get, the colder you get, and nothing can survive that, or the further in you get, it's too hot in our solar system, and you can't survive that. But surely, that you're seeing it as in you're assuming people are going to be like humans, like us.
Yeah.
You got to put that aside. I always like, someone had the argument of Star Wars thing a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I love that.
Yeah.
Because everyone assumes it's going to be now, but I think I remember Hunter even stating that it's weird that if you go 20 light years out, and look back at Earth, you see
Mm.
yourself 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, because of how time works. Like the stars we see, most of them are dead.
Yeah.
That's just the light traveling through space to our eyes. Most of them have already died and, disappeared a long time ago.
So I remember Hunter, he sent us the link, or he sent me a link anyway, of the I can't remember the name of it. The other rover going to Mars.
Mm.
Um,
Perseverance, is that the recent one?
Perseverance, yeah, that I think that was the most recent one. Because we were talking about it, and I always remember saying that I thought it was Curiosity that died,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I think Curiosity got stuck,
Yeah.
and another one died, or Opportunity or something. I can't remember. That one died.
Mm.
So it'd be interesting to see a bunch of probes go to different. Well, obviously, see if we can catch anything.
Mm.
So in hindsight, yes, I do believe in stuff like that. There has to be.
Yeah.
In the logical sense, yes, it has to be.
Thank you, George, for coming on and
You're
talking
very
about
welcome.
your views and how you see things. Thanks for coming on and talking. And this has been a really good episode. I think it's very long. This one, extra long.
Yes, when am I getting paid?
It will be in the mail. Probably about, I don't know, I'll post 10p to you.
Oh, deal.
Sorry. Alright, yeah, no, thanks for coming on. Good talking to you. Hopefully have you on again some other time to talk about different things that happen.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.